Did you break up with the girlfriend during college or after college?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I had a conversion of heart in my college years where I was really, I went to a retreat for the first time on my own with these friends, and we went to a Benedictine monastery, which in St. Louis, I don't know, I expected it to be like ancient and, like it was a pretty new monastery. The guys taught high school, but it was a great place to go. And there was a meditation there. I got a YouTube video about this, so I don't want to go too long. But I basically, I was sitting across from Jesus, kind of like we're sitting today, and he was, has his plan, not my master plan, but his plan for my life. And I just knew the girl was not in the box. I don't know, I was in tears because I was really distraught because at that point I was trying to live my life for Jesus. I wanted to live my life for Jesus. I knew that he was the meaning of my life, that he was who would make me happy. And the summum bonum, everything I wanted was God. And yet here I am telling God, I don't want you, I want this other person. And she's not in the box. So I'm going to go because I don't want your box. And that was really heart-wrenching for me. And really kind of disappointing for me to realize okay, Jesus set everything up. He asked the question and I walked away.
You didn't like the answer.
Yeah, that's not good. I knew that wasn't good. So I wrestled with it and I actually came back to Houston. I was out of state, came back for the Triduum, the Good Friday, Holy Saturday, Easter Sunday. And we had a new pastor, and get this, he was preaching divine mercy. So Father John Wire was the apostle of divine mercy before Father Dat and St. Faustina. And he's responsible for the chapel down there in St. Lawrence, and it's dedicated to divine mercy. And he put a big statue at our church, St. Vincent de Paul. And so he was reading from the diary of St. Faustina for the Stations of the Cross. And I'd never heard of this diary. I'd never heard of that saint. And just something about the grace of that day and that diary spoke to me in a way that nothing ever had. And I was ugly crying in church in front of my parents. And that was to me, that was the most embarrassing thing. I would have loved to have melted just because of that. But yet I was so happy. I knew God loved me. It's almost as if you just said it, Richard, I love you. And clear as day inside, everything came on, lights flipped on. And I thought to myself, I've never experienced love like this ever. And I've always wanted it. I just never knew. And it's so good. I'll do whatever this is, I'll do whatever it takes. I just want to live my life in that. And, that really set me off. I bought the diary. I got every single piece of literature I could get my hands on. I stopped studying for my exams. I just read the diary and wept for my wasted life. And I mean, it was great. It was so cathartic. I became a different person. I was the kind of guy who probably instigated parties back in the day.
Okay.
They were Catholic parties, but they weren't good parties. But I'd be the kind of guy, I just love bringing people together. And so I'd always be getting my friends. And now I was the guy who was hey, it's 3:00, we got to go pray. And arms out, on our knees, getting all my friends to do penance and stuff like that. And they're what happened to Richard? Who is this guy?
How did the conversation with the girlfriend go?
Yeah, so I talked to her after that wave of grace entered my life. She was actually studying abroad at the time in China.
Okay.
She's not Chinese. She was studying abroad in China. And I remember the conversation. I don't know if what she recalls of it, but I remember that we both kind of agreed, marriage really deep down never felt like it was in our future or something like that. She had kind of expressed this vision of helping children in Africa, and I was well, I don't really know what I want to do, but I just feel like I'm supposed to do something like St. Faustina. I just felt whatever that woman's life was, I wanted it. I'd be a nun. You sign me up, let me enter that Polish convent and just that's not for me. But so yeah, that initial conversation was good. And she kind of acquiesced, like, okay, maybe this is not our future. But then she came back to the States and I was like, forget what I told you. You know, I was
Oh.
still at war in my heart. Like I think I remember praying at some point, like, God, if you want this relationship to end, you got to make it happen. I'm stuck. I can't just say goodbye to this person.